There's nothing like the warm glow of a fire to set the perfect mood for an evening outdoors. But what if you could bring that glow right to your table? In this video, I'll teach you how to make this awesome fire bowl that's compact, stylish, and easy to make. Let's get started. From designing, 3D printing the molds, to pouring concrete and painting, I'll guide you step by step through this project. And by the end, you'll have a stylish fire feature that adds a cozy touch to your outdoor space. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. You'll need a bag of Simmental. You need a bucket to mix it in. You'll need a method to mix it. I love this drill mixer. You're going to need a scale. The ratio is 4:1, 4 parts Simmental to 1 part water, so you need to accurately measure that. You're going to need a mold to pour the Simmental in. You're going to need some mold release. I love a spatula to just kind of help with cleaning up and stuff. I'll have a link to all this in my description. Once the project is cast and pulled, now we can move to the painting section. Now we're going to need some sandpaper, some spot putty, a little sanding tool, some primer, some paint. I have some high heat paint and I'll show you why we'll use that in a minute. You're going to need some fuel. I like this bioethanol fuel. And then we're going to need a can. These are tuna cans actually. So in this case, 3 cans, and I painted them with the high heat paint. Then we've got this fire pit glass that we're going to put around the fuel canister. Okay, we've got this great design for this concrete fire bowl. I really like this look. It's just too big for my printer, so I need to cut it in half. So there's the half. Now we need to make a mold on each side of this section. So there's one half. Let's go to the end. There's the other half, so I'll pour it in this configuration. So we've got this section of the mold, we've got the bottom section of the mold, the gray is going to be the concrete. We'll make 2 of each so we can bolt them together, and let's get printing. Watching the 3D printer in action is always fascinating. It layers the design with incredible precision, turning a digital concept into a physical object. This process ensures our mold is accurate and durable, and ready to handle the weight of the concrete. So the molds are hot off the press from the 3D printer. It's time to put them together. So we just have bolt flanges like that. I'm going to put the pieces like this together. We'll get our bolts and we'll start assembling these molds. So in order to figure out how much concrete we're going to need, I have a method where we're going to put the mold on a scale. We're going to fill it full of water and we're going to weigh in grams and see how much the water weighs. And I'm at 1,262 grams. So I've taken the molds apart because we need to add mold release to the mold so that the concrete doesn't stick. I like to put them in a box to kind of contain the spray. I like to use this canola oil, and we're just going to put a light coat just like that. Do that on all the parts. We'll put it together. It's ready to go. Let's fill this thing with concrete. So we weighed the water. It was 1,262 grams. Our concrete formula is take 1.9 on that, and it comes up to 2,397 grams. Then we do 25% of that, which is 599 for the water. I don't want to mix this in my shop. It's a little dusty for this volume. You do not want to breathe this dust. So I'm going to go outside and mix it, and I'll be right back. So when I mix the concrete, I usually don't put all the water in. I put most of it in, maybe 3/4 of it. I mix it. I want to mix it more to the consistency. You want about a pancake batter consistency, and that's about what we've got. Try to get the lumps out, and we're ready to pour. A few little lumps in there, but we'll be good. And we're just about to the top. I'm going to get it pretty close to the brim, not over. I think we're right about there. Looking good. Christmas is over, and if your house is anything like mine, the toys are still out, but the batteries are dead. Enter Pale Blue rechargeable batteries, the batteries that save the day and your wallet. Why throw away batteries and money when you can just recharge Pale Blue batteries over 1,000 times? Less waste, more savings, and way less hassle. Start the new year smarter with Pale Blue rechargeable batteries. It's been about 3 hours. Let's demold this and see how it looks. So I've taken all the bolts off, it's ready to pull. So we just need to pry in here a little bit. Oh, this one comes off pretty easy. Kind of just tap a little bit on the edge on both sides. Lift that thing It'll come right off. Look at that. Cool, nice bowl. So now what we need to do, where the parting line is, where the molds have met, they've got a little bit of an edge, so we're just gonna sand that off, get it ready for primer. We'll see you then. So there's two methods we're gonna use for using fire in this. One of them, I'm gonna use this high heat paint. We're gonna spray the inside, as I've already done. Now I'm gonna mark, because I wanna paint the outside with a more decorative color, and I'm gonna mask it off, so we need to mark where that's gonna be. So I take a block, I took a pencil, and we're just gonna kind of mark a line, and this is gonna be where we're gonna mask it off, and then we'll get to the next step. So the idea here is I've got this high temp paint, and I don't want to disrupt it with primer and paint, because that's not gonna be happy in the heat. So now the rest of this needs to be prepped for paint. So I've got some parting lines here. We can either sand it with a block, smooth it off. You can just use some sandpaper. If you want to do that, you can sand it. You just got to get it nice and clean and ready for primer. I also have this cool little sander that works really well, and you just come along here and just kind of sand it. So whatever materials you have, whatever tools you have, any of these are going to work. The bottom line is just getting it smooth and ready for primer. So I have the surface all ready for primer. I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum primer filler. This works really well for filling in some of the flaws, and then we're going to take to that point and I'll be back. I'm going to take a glove with my finger and just kind of smear on some spot putty and fill some of these minor defects, and then we'll sand those with about 150. I'll do one more prime, do one final sand, and then we'll paint. One trick when sanding primer is you spray on what's called a guide coat. I use this flat back black paint. I did half of it so you can see the difference. So this is primer with some spot putty, and this is a guide coat on top of the primer and spot putty. So what happens is when you sand it, you can see the low spots very easily because they're black. And I use this to help make a nice finish before we paint. And to sand this primer, I'm using 150 grit sandpaper. I've done two versions of this fire bowl. So this version, I painted it with the high heat paint, and I did that right on top of the concrete. Then we masked it off, and on top of the masking, I used the primer, and then I top coated it with the Rust-Oleum. On this one, this is 100% primed, 100% with the Rust-Oleum top coat paint. I didn't use the high heat paint because we're going to do it two different ways. So the first way, we're going to take this fire pit glass, we're going to fill it in here, and cover that line, that masking line, so you don't see it. Just like so. This one over here, I used these tuna cans. I painted them black. You don't have to paint them black. I painted them with the high heat paint, but this is just to contain the fluid. And we're just gonna put some in between here. Just a decorative touch. So I'm going to use this bioethanol fuel, open it up, and we're going to probably fill these maybe halfway, 3/4 of the way full. This is going to look really cool. This one, we're putting it directly into the bowl. It's kind of hard to tell, but you want this within your painted line for the high heat paint. I had to take a little bit of the glass out of this one, so I had a little more fluid to glass, but both flames are looking good. Take your pick. I'm not sure which one I prefer. You can also change the can size. We've got a smaller little can. You could put that in there, maybe put 4 in there. So there's quite a few options. The can makes it also so you can extinguish it easier. Just put a larger lid on top of it and just boom, boom, boom. And you can snuff them out. This one, you're gonna just have to pretty much let it burn out unless you can cover the whole top. Anytime you're dealing with fire, obviously you need to be super careful. I recommend this to be in your outdoor structure. You're going to be super careful if you're going to put this inside. Don't leave it unattended. If you like this video, you want to make more fun, cool things like this, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.